but this is in the letter to Heliodorus, Saint Heliodorus. And he's talking at the very end about the attack on Rome by the barbarians. And I just think this is such a great line. And again, this is totally Old Testament wisdom that he's drawing on. But I just think it's something that in troubled times for the church or for one's country, Catholics need to be thinking in this way rather than sort of complaining and seeing themselves as victims all the time. This great passage, he says, "We are unhappy who displease God so much that his anger rages against us through the fury of the barbarians. Hezekiah did penance, and 185,000 Assyrians were destroyed in one night by a single angel. Jehoshaphat sung praises to the Lord, and the Lord crushed his enemies in return. Moses fought Amalek not with a sword, but with prayer. If we wish to be lifted up, we must first fall down in prayer." And earlier in the passage, he says, because of our sins, the barbarians are strong. Because of our vices, the Roman army is overcome. So I think that this idea of suffering the displeasure of God, that the sort of the when God allows us to be defeated in some way, or it allows troubles to come our way, it can be because of our sins, or at least it can be a test that we're supposed to embrace, or a purification of some kind, if not a punishment per se. I think those are really valuable things to have in the spiritual repertoire as a Catholic, but something that I don't hear people talking about too much today. I guess it's just not fashionable to think of things that way. Even in traditional circles, I don't really hear people thinking that way very much. It tends to be more of a, blaming things on whoever is the sort of the material cause of the problems.
It's definitely not fashionable. And I think of two examples in particular: the September 11th attacks and the COVID pandemic. There were articles written, is this God, issuing a plague on us? And apropos to what you were saying, people are very quick, Christian writers very quick to say, no, God doesn't do that anymore. Well, St. Jerome thinks so. There is something to be said for penance. Penance is not always just voluntary. Sometimes it is put upon us, and it's accepting those penances. That's really the challenge of the spiritual life. It's one thing to choose our own penance; it's another thing to have it given to us, and that's really where Jerome, I think, would certainly support this, where we show our real love for God in enduring those penances with a patient heart.